Hello, BFFs. Hi, good morning. Happy Monday. So today's video, today's live, Facebook Live is about injury recovery and relationships. So before we jump into the topic, I just have to remind you that tomorrow we start with a group coaching program, Rewire Your Mind and Heal Perfectly. So if you are not a member yet, if you are still, on the fence, should you do it, should you not, today is the last day. So if you would like to get my personal support and guidance as well as amazing content, then I invite you to join us. So go to mynovak.com/rewire and join us. So this is just shortly about what is happening tomorrow. We are starting tomorrow. But yes, today's topic is about relationships. And, I have to say that I am not an expert. I am not a relationship coach or therapist or anything like that. So, here is just what I would like to do here is to share my thoughts, and I hope that this insight will help you understand your situation better. And hi Judy, how are you? And I also know that not all people have amazing relationships. I know that here in the group there are so many women as well as men who have supportive spouses, and they're really happy. However, that's not the case for all of them. And I have not just had, but I have a great relationship with my husband, and the things that we went through, and especially during my injury recovery, it was rough, but we made it, and he was extremely supportive, and I am so extremely grateful for that. The thing that also helped us, absolutely, if you read my story, my broken ankle recovery story, that is a long story. You need probably around 10, 15, or maybe 20 minutes to read it through. There is a part when I'm also talking about the emotional breakdown and how extremely, tough it was when I came from the hospital, being on a strong painkillers. It affected my mood, and it was just crazy. Thank God I talked to one of the nurses, and he told me his story with painkillers, because a year prior to that, he fractured his ankle. So he was like, you know what? It's gonna be tough, you're gonna be really emotional, you're gonna be crying, you're gonna be all over the place, but just know that this is not you, but these are really painkillers. So this really helped us, because otherwise I would think that I'm like, woohoo, cuckoo, it was tough. But yes, like I said, not all relationships are as easy, and not all spouses or friends or extended family are as supportive. Hi Jen, nice to see you here. So the thing that you have to know is that accidents, injury recovery, these are all stressful situations. So it's it's impossible to live and act like you did before, because it's not the same situation. You are not the same person. And it's not just only stressful for you, but it's also stressful for people around you. So this might be your spouse, this might be your extended family, this might be your friends, whoever you have a relationship with. So even though, I am here for you, we're going to be talking about you are being injured, let's not forget about other people as well who are going through this frustration and this stress as well, okay? Even though, like I said, I'm here for you, but let's not forget that people who are supporting us are also going through something that is really uncomfortable. So it really depends what kind of relationship you have with a person that you struggle with, so with that relationship, But what I know that really helps is that when both parties are willing to chat openly, to be open and vulnerable and really discuss what is actually happening below the surface. Because, you know, I do believe that there is something else that is happening, not just, you know, he's doing that or she's doing that or whatever, but probably something is under the surface that really needs to be addressed. So, and you know, only so in regards to that, that both parties are willing to discuss things, only when we shine the light to those dark spots, you know, when we allow this to happen, things can really start changing. Because if we are just looking away and, you know, we don't want to address something, nothing can change. So it's really important, you know, that both parties are willing to discuss what is actually happening. And, you know, like I said, if we are just waiting or playing a victim, or if we are pointing finger to that person, you know, he is doing that or she is doing that, nothing will change. Because what you have to know is that we are absolutely 100% responsible for everything that is happening in our lives. And, you know, if this sounds harsh to you, I know that maybe for some people this does sound harsh to them, but you know, if this sounds harsh to you, then maybe you are not willing to do these steps forward, you know, stop being a victim, to stop pointing fingers to someone else, to just wait for something to change. And you know, I'm absolutely not saying that this is an easy process. Absolutely not. It's not an easy process. And you know, I'm still learning and discovering how I can communicate with Jerry, with my husband, and other people. So I think that this for me is going to be a lifelong process. So it's not something that happens, you know, like, okay, now let's talk openly and let's be vulnerable and everything will be awesome. I'm not saying that, because it's not gonna happen. But like I said, if both parties are willing to communicate what is really happening, the change will start happening. So whatever the change, whatever the struggle, I really believe that, you know, these tough situations are really blessings for both, maybe not just two people, but maybe there are many people in that relationship. But this is really a blessing, because, you know, every relationship that you have is a reflection of you. So if something triggers you, if something is happening that, you know, it's not really comfortable, you have to ask yourself, why is this really happening to me? Why is this so triggering for me? You know, is this, so there are a few, how I see this is that when something triggers me, I ask myself, so is this a sign that I have to deal with something? Is this the sign that I have to let go of something? Is this the sign that I have to accept something? So you really have to ask yourself, what is this sign? What is this for you? Why do you think that you need this type of experience? And you know, I know that was really frustrating for me. So for example, a few examples that I see constantly in the group or other groups, or, you know, people sending me emails, and I know how frustrating this is, for example, when a person, or like many people, like 100 people, or all people in your life, they are asking you, you know, so are you still limping? I mean, you should be already, you know, you should be okay since it's been weeks or months. or maybe, you know, they ask you, so are you still not okay? I mean, it's been ages. And I know how frustrating this can be, because, and how triggering this can be. And this was triggering for me as well, especially at the beginning. And, you know, if this triggers you, what people say to you, you have to figure out why this is really happening to you. So for me, I know that at the beginning, you know, I don't know what your reason is. You will have to figure this out on your own or with the help with someone. But I can tell you that what is actually happening, what was happening for me, with me, and what I also see happening with a lot of people is that, you know, they put a lot of pressure on themselves. So actually, you want to be better, already better, but you are not. And you put a lot of pressure, and especially sometimes we have that picture in our heads, like, oh, I'm gonna be okay in 2 months' time. And then there you are, 4, 5, 6 months in the recovery, and you are still not okay. And you put so much pressure on yourself. And as soon as you hear someone who is saying, oh, you're not okay yet, I mean, you know, it's frustrating, it's triggering, but not because of that question. Actually, what is happening inside you. That is why these type of questions trigger some people. Another reason can be also that they are not really comfortable with the length of the recovery process. So, you know, it's connected to what I just said. You know, it's happening. It's not like injury recovery, especially recovering from serious injuries. It's not like a flu, you know, 2 weeks time and you're fine. Even though I know that I had this type of image in my head. I mean, at first, when I was completely sure that it's just a sprain, I was like, oh, 2 weeks and I'll be fine. And then they told me, oh, something is fractured. And I said, okay, so probably 2 months and I'll be fine. And, you know, I've been 3 months in bed, non-weight bearing. So, you know, what the type of images that we have in our heads, but then the reality can really be, there can be friction. So, you know, and then this type of questions can really trigger us. And for some people, the reason can also be that they feel that they need to be perfect. You know, there are many reasons why people feel that way, but if you feel that you need to be perfect, then of course with this type of struggles, for example, limping or being really emotional or being, you know, all over the place in regards to your emotions and mindset, of course, it's really triggering and it's frustrating. But again, it is because of the things that are actually happening inside you. So does this make sense? Please let me know, because if it doesn't, then, you know, it's better for me to explain it a bit differently, or maybe use yeah, different kind of words. So let me know if this does make sense. So, you know, any type of relationship, like I said, it's a reflection of you. And here I'm going to be talking, now I'm going to talk a bit more about intimate relationships. And the reason for that is because with a spouse, you are more or less all the time together. Okay, with a family, extended family, you might see them once in a while, you might see them once per week, but with, excuse me, but with intimate relationships, you are really, you know, with the spouse all the time, and especially there can be more friction. So why do actually people struggle with relationships so much? You know, one thing that I talked quite a lot right now is frustration. Frustration on your side, being injured, but also frustration on the spouse's side, because, you know, it's not like that you were preparing yourself over the time that you're gonna get, you know, injured and you will be in bed or you will not be able to do things, but actually this happened in instant. So it's a stressful situation. So there is definitely a lot of frustration. Another thing why some people struggle is in regards to resentment. So maybe your spouse is, you know, trying to make you feel guilty because you got injured. Then another struggle can be that you or your spouse is a control freak. So especially for injured women, I know that's the case, because injured women, normally they are, you know, the ones who are taking care of everything in the house, or more or less everything. And then all of a sudden, they are not allowed to do anything, but they still want to, you know, have control over things. So if you're a control freak, it's absolutely really frustrating for both of you to, you know, go through this. So, and there is another one who is also happening, and I'm hearing this quite often, is that the spouse doesn't want to take responsibility. So actually, he or she has like a childish response. And of course, you know, if this is your case, of course, it's tough, because, you know, here is a really serious situation, and the person on the other side should take care of you, of family, but it's actually acting like a child. So these are, for example, you know, a few, the most common things that I'm seeing. Maybe, you know, this doesn't resonate with you because maybe you struggle with your relationship because of something completely different. But this is what I'm seeing on a, you know, in the injury recovery community, more or less all the time. Excuse me. And, you know, like I said, I think that it's absolutely normal to have a bit of a friction in a relationship in this type of situation. Even great relationships do have that, because it's a stressful situation. So it's not like everything is the same. Of course not. So some friction is absolutely normal because of that. But, you know, what if you are struggling more than you feel that it's normal? You probably heard me saying many times, I really believe that, you know, accidents happen for a reason. So some reasons behind the accidents also include healing relationships. So, and with healing relationships, I don't mean only relationship with your spouse, with your family, with your friend, whoever. First of all, you have to heal the relationship with yourself, and then also heal the relationship with a significant other. So, you know, not long time ago, I talked to a lady. She fractured her ankle, and she was just in the process of ending a really abusive relationship. And, you know, we talked about what is actually happening and what was happening before. And she also told me that, yeah, she was trying to get away for so many years, but now she finally is doing this step forward. So, you know, if you are in a relationship, in a violent relationship, I'm not saying that you should stay in a relationship and heal something or try to heal something. If you are in a violent relationship, please get out. And, you know, maybe this situation is also teaching you how to put yourself first, how to take care of yourself first, how to, you know, grow your wings. So I believe that most relationships can be healed. However, I'm not saying that, you know, every relationship needs to be healed. Because like I said at the beginning, I always ask myself, what is this situation really teaching me? Do I have to accept something? Do I have to deal with something? Do I have to let go of something? In regards to letting go, a big question here is also, were you always happy in your relationship, or was there something going on and you were just looking away and didn't want to deal with that because, you know, pushing it away, I'm gonna deal with that later, or I can, you know, I can survive in this relationship. So if this is the case, you know, like I said, I do believe that accidents happen for a reason, and there is a reason definitely for your accident, for your injury. And with I know that this group injury recovery BFFs, there is a lot of people with fractured ankles or knees, so that means, you know, with legs, so lower part of the body. And if we are looking into emotional causes, reasons behind the accident, behind this type of injuries, a lot of the times the reason is that you were on a crossroad, you didn't know how to, you know, which path to choose, and you were just thinking what you should do, and then this happened. So you might be pushed into this situation just because you need to make a decision. So if we are going back to relationships, is that you know, two things definitely that you need to consider, and this is in regards to relationship, is there something that needs to be healed, or is there something, you know, or is it time to let go? Like I said previously, with the previous story with that woman being in a violent relationship, I'm absolutely not saying, you know, that you should stay in a relationship and try to heal everything. If you are in a violent relationship, please take care of yourself, put yourself first, so that, you know, that you can heal, first of all, relationship with yourself. But like I also said, you know, I do believe that a lot of relationships can be healed, but again, both parties have to be willing to communicate openly and to really discover what is actually happening below the surface. So the question here is, what is this situation teaching you? Why do you think that you need this type of situation in your life? If you struggle with any type of relationship, why do you think that this is actually happening? Not to you, I'm gonna say for you. Is it time to heal? Is it time to let go? Is it time to accept? Is it time to what? So this is the question. And, you know, like I said at the beginning, I don't have really answers for you. These are the things that you will have to figure out what really resonates with you. And like I said also at the beginning, you know, every relationship is a reflection of yourself. So if you are being triggered with something, then there probably is something that needs to be healed, dealt inside of you, okay? So that's in regards to relationships. And Susan, you had a question. I don't know if you're here, I don't see you. Yeah, you had a question in regards to if during your recovery your partner is not supportive or sympathetic, does that show underlying character traits of an uncaring person, and what the future may hold? So, you know, maybe you already got the answer while I was talking about the things. I do believe that, you know, there are things that needs to be probably healed, dealt with look into it. And maybe, you know, for him, it might be, I don't know if this is your situation or if you are just asking, you know, just like that. Like I also said at the beginning, you know, let's not forget about people who are taking care of us, because this might be just a really frustrating situation. It's really important for the spouse, for the whoever is also taking care of you while being injured, while recovering, that they also know how to take care of themselves. Because it's not necessary that, you know, this is a sign that you are in a relationship with a bad person. Absolutely not, you know, but maybe it's just a huge frustration on both sides. However, if there is, you know, if the spouse is acting like a child, then things have to be, you know, dealt with. Figure out why is this actually happening. And like I said, you know, 3 things. Do you need to let go? Do you need to deal with it, or do you need to accept it? What is this situation teaching you? So please do let me know if this answers your question in the comment below, and after I finish, I'm gonna also reply to that if there is anything else. Jen, thank you so much for sharing. It definitely makes me feel better knowing. You're very, very, very welcome. So that was for today in regards to relationships. I mean, I know that we didn't go like really deep into. If you would like to have more conversations like that, please do let me know. But yeah, like I said, you know, everything that is happening to us is actually happening for us. And every situation that we are in is actually teaching us something. This is how I see my life. This is how I also help my clients. And I can see, you know, how amazingly they change, and everything in their life starts changing when they start healing some of the things in their lives. So that was for today. It was amazing seeing you here. Like I said at the beginning, if you are on a fence of, you know, in regards to rewire your mind and heal perfectly, today is the last day to join us. Tomorrow is our first live call, and go to mynovak.com/rewire and join us if you would like to change how your mind works, things, so that you can heal your body, support your body in that way. So have a lovely day, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.